Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Seneca County Board of Commissioner meeting. Today's July 20th. We're in regular board session, and it's 10 a.m. We'll begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I'll take the prayer this morning. Just God, thank you for bringing us all together and looking over Seneca County. We ask that you lend an eye and an ear and a hand to this meeting today as we discuss county business. In your name, amen. All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Present.
Commissioner Schuff.
Here.
Commissioner Frankert.
Here. All right, so at this time, I'll accept the motion to approve the digital audio recording minutes of our prior board session back on Thursday, June 13th, 2023.
So moved. Second.
Okay, first and second, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert.
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff.
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. So we'll begin the agenda today. We have several continuation public hearings for alley vacations. We will pass the sign-up sheet. Each hearing will be separate. There are 3 different ones on the agenda. We're circulating a sign-up sheet for all those that are present. The first one on the agenda is the Springville Alley vacation. This is a continuation. Is anyone here in the audience that would like to speak regarding the Springville Alley vacation?
Don't read that. Do you have anything to read?
Okay, so without that, we're going to jump into the resolution.
Yeah, I mean, quick, I don't know if you want me to say, no, did you?
Anybody want to say anything?
Say anything, but Springville, we had talked at the last hearing that the trustees were in favor of the project. They were actually the ones that are requesting it. We at that time did not have a survey and a legal description completed at the time, so we were waiting until we got that completed to continue this hearing. That has been completed. They've been attached with Barb, and so that one is all ready to go as far as the legal description goes. So.
Okay. I'll make a motion we approve the vacation
I'll second.
for Springville. Any discussion? Good? Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Frankert.
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff.
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes, thanks for that, Tim. I'll ask for comment with that.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay, do we have to follow these times? We probably did, should.
Probably should,
Yeah,
because they were
so,
that's how they were
think so.
posted. I
see a few
apologize.
nods. So that's okay, we can, so what we're going to do is we'll have our hearings on time at 10, 10:10, and 10:20, and we'll just conduct county business in between. So with that, we will open up commissioner reports. Commissioner Schuff, would you like to go first?
Sure. Yeah, so this week I was at a ABR meeting here going over some of our signage. We got approval to replace the signs out here on the sides of our building. I think they've been up there for at least 10 to 12 years, but they're cracking, falling apart, and it's the old recycled material, but we did get approval for replacement of those 2 signs. Ribbon cutting today here at Secret Seamstress. That's at the Laird Arcade, and that's at 4 o'clock. As many of you know, next week's the Seneca County Fair, so the commissioners will be out there probably each day that week. I've also been in contact with the JDI group, trying to set up a meeting. I want to check with you guys before I schedule anything. I was looking at potentially August 1st, but what they are able to do is give us maybe some options as far as the RTA building goes. Basically just set up like a preliminary meeting with them and just look at some options if we want to do something with the RTA building, the facade, the windows, kind of dress that up a little bit. So I know we have some window issues over there and whatnot, but they were willing to meet with us, so if August 1st works for you guys, I was going to
August 1st.
reach out to them. It's a Tuesday.
Coordinated.
We have a
Zoom call or something?
I think they were willing to come meet us in person. We have a meeting with Judge Meyer at 3, but I was leaning towards like 1 o'clock. Gives us plenty of time. But wanted to run that past you guys before I confirm with them. Then also they had some options for us too as far as the prosecutor's building goes. The sandstone is eroding away very quickly, but
John Loxton would like copy of that.
John would, okay. Also, just to let you guys know, on August 11th, I'll be attending a Decision Makers Day. It's up there. It's Lake Erie Decision Makers Day, but basically it's put on by Ohio State University. It's the College of Food, Agriculture, and Environmental Sciences. That'll be held up in Ottawa County. Just want to let you guys know I'll be attending that. If anybody wants to go up with me, more than happy to have you. And then lastly, we had a good meeting with ODOT after they gave their report last week. View stayed afterwards and met with April, their new director out there, trying to put together some sort of plan here where we can start getting some of these really deep ditches filled in a little bit so they're not such a hazard. If we want to widen roads down the road, we can, but we've got a good 3 or 4 year plan where they're going to work with us and try to knock out a couple miles at a time and get some of these ditches filled and make it so it's not so dangerous on South 53, but that's all I've got for now.
Okay, thank you. We still have 3 minutes to the next hearing. Commissioner Franklin.
So attended the Seneca Regional Planning Special Meeting where they approved kind of a change of the use of the land from agricultural to residential out on River Road there. Spent 3-4 hours with Presley Burma, took around some farms and stuff around Seneca County, our new section agent and stuff on that. So yeah, that was a good afternoon spent there. We also, Barb and I went out to the LAPC, the Local Emergency Planning Committee meeting the other day out to the EMA building and went through that process. And,
Thanks for covering it.
Yeah, no,
I had
it was
a copy of it.
great. No, you're good. You're good. So, and then last night, Lynn Love and I went to Attica Fair to kind of talk about the scheduling and stuff for the EMS to cover the Attica Fair, and it's all covered and then some even. So they were really ecstatic that, because last year they was kind of panic mode on trying to get it
You were there
over.
last year?
Yeah.
I was with you last year.
Yeah, I went after ribbon cutting, but, and I also let them know, so I assume one or both of you guys will go for the ribbon cutting because that's election day. My wife and I work the polls, so we won't be there for the ribbon, or not the ribbon cutting, but the opening of the Attica Fair. So, yep. Yeah, and then Monday.
Just for the record.
Yeah, August 8th is when, yep. So we got,
I think I have that, but now I have no idea.
yeah, and then Monday is 8 o'clock also, Seneca County Fair, the opening ceremony there also. So it's going to be the front gate unless it's raining, that'll be in the building or entertainment building for that. On that. So we do want to wish, happy, safe fair for the kids. When you got 100-pound kids showing 1,500-pound steers, it's all good, right? So at least we have coverage here. Our EMS building's going to be open. It's going to be covered significantly throughout the fair there, and real fortunate about that. This morning was over to FEDC, the Foster Economic Development meeting this morning, their quarterly meeting, and a lot of great stuff happening over at Fostoria. They're doing a great job over there. The chamber, since Sarah moved over to into the economic development part of it, they hired Jocelyn Reinhardt, who worked for Clear Choice, is going to be the new chamber person over there.
You met
So,
her yet?
yeah, she'll do a nice job.
I know Jocelyn.
Yeah, she worked there, and then she went and got, and then got.
She's promoted.
She's promoted.
I
Well,
see.
no. She worked it before, kind of
Yeah,
intern,
she came back.
left and went to work Clear Choice. Now she's coming
I
back.
didn't know
there.
that.
So So talked a little bit about the triangle rail system. That's going to be end up, the bypass around there. Many grants, and it won't cost Fostoria anything, but it's going to end up being about a $15 million project with that. So. Amazing what the work they're doing over there. So also through that process, we're working with the contract with FEDC and stuff, and
The one
we have with them. So yeah, we'll be
Renewal.
working on that in the renewal and any addition and stuff with that. So we'll be getting that reviewed and updated and stuff on it. So
When is the date on that for the renewal?
it's cut
Year
right.
end.
It's right.
I think it's year end.
Yeah.
and
Year end,
we
okay.
start about now.
Yeah.
I think maybe TSEP and they have a contract with TSEP and FEDC. I'm not sure they're the same renewal date or time.
I'm not sure.
They're
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
They'd be different.
yeah.
Anything else?
Nope, that's, and I do want to add one more thing. Renee did talk about the collaborative partnership with TCEP and them on housing for the county. And they're all kind of, narrowing down some properties, approach people on, and continue to work together on that. So I think it's fantastic that the collaboration between the two
Our engineer
organizations there.
who's in the room has also been involved with sewer, those kind of things,
Yep.
infrastructure. It's great. So, anything else?
That's all I have.
You have a bed out there at the fair?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So we come and go, but he just lives there for
You're right,
the week.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess at this point, it's, Jimmy, do we have 11:10?
10-10.
10:10, I mean?
Yep.
Thank you. I have 10:11 on my clock, so I read that, but it's 10:10. So we will open back up the continuation of the public hearing for the Alveda Alley vacation. And Engineer Zimmerman, can you kind of
Sure.
give us a
So,
summary of that, please?
Again, we are in a situation where we are continuing the hearing because we didn't have a completed legal description and survey of the property at the last hearing. That has been completed and has been approved through our office of the tax map department. And like the Springville one, this was actually implemented or recommended by the township trustees. And as you know, I guess as far as recommendation goes, if the township trustees want it gone, then it's probably a good idea to vacate it. But it was initiated by them, survey paid for by them, and they are wishing for both pieces of LA to. This one, there's actually two pieces in Alveda for both those pieces to be vacated.
Okay, is anyone here in the audience that would like to speak regarding the Alveda alley vacation? Public hearing. Okay, hearing none. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a first and second to approve the vacation. Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. Aren't you glad those two are off your desk? It's been a little while.
Yes.
Great. Next hearing will be at 10:20. So segue back into a little county business. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you
Did
very
we have a
much.
sign-up sheet? I'm so sorry.
Oh, we've
Yep,
signed
I've got
here.
Did you sign?
I just
Okay,
told her.
thanks.
Rob.
You're the steward of the sign-up sheet. Okay. We've met before, thank you. Yeah, great. So I guess on my report, I'll just give it a little EMS update. A lot of discussion, everybody seems to be working. Barb and I have been meeting with Don. There'll be a joint district meeting tonight. We're moving forward. We'll give you updates as things change, but we're moving forward with construction out on 224. We're moving forward with planning and design of the second building, which is over on the property of the Seneca Township trustees on County Road 6. We've been working with the township trustees, with our architect firm and EPA and North Central, and so we're at that phase over there to see where we can put it and setbacks and those kind of things. So we're pretty excited. We met with Bascom. We had a nice conversation with Bascom. I think I mentioned that last week. And, it's our vision and goal to work with everyone in the county. And I'm going to bring up tonight that I'd like to bring it up now with my fellow commissioners, and I'd like to bring it up tonight with the Joint Ambulance District, that we approach all entities in our county that provide EMS. So it would be City of Fostoria, City of Tiffin, it would be Bascom, and it would be Sycamore, and it would be North Central because they're still over in Bellevue, and it would be Seneca County, and it would be the Seneca County Joint EMS District. And I'd like us to work on, agree, and sign collaboratively, all of us, a philosophy statement on EMS. So we can break down some barriers, and that mutual aid would be fluid. We would help each other out in need, and we said this from the beginning. We would then have a county-wide or true system where no matter where you're at in the county, if you hit 911, we're going to be there. We also set up a meeting in August with the sheriff. We've invited BASCOM. We will invite the Joint EMS Board to review our 911, our dispatch center. We're going to do some consolidation as we rename our districts or our county. It's all going to change. That should help communication, set up some protocols. And so I'm pretty excited. We're working now on the implementation of how we can get better. And all parties are excited and involved. So if you guys want to say anything, or jointly, I'd like us to move forward, approach Chief Chappell and City of Tiffin and so forth, and see if we can formulate a Seneca County philosophy statement or memo of understanding for EMS service. There seems to still be some silos and some, driving across. We could do better. I think this will go a long way to help that.
And we're 7 months into this. I mean, I think we've made huge strides to where we're at. And yeah, you're always going to have some, pitfalls. Nothing's ever, perfect scenario when you deal with, impact situations and need quick response. I do want to follow up. I did have a conversation with Mayor Greenslade from Green Springs, and they are working on with their solicitor to come into our district and stuff like that. So the board or the council's good with that. They're working, kind of working on that direction. And so I did have a conversation if you want to present that tonight in meetings. So that would be, appreciate that.
Real good.
So, yeah, that's good that they are.
Your thoughts?
Looking at where we were before we started this journey and where we're heading, where we're at now, it's definitely improved. And if we can help each other out and come up with an understanding, it's a good thing.
Good. So we'll keep the public informed. As we move forward, I would like to have at the end, once we all agree to it, maybe we could have a meeting at Tiffin City Council or here or somewhere where we would have a signing or something. I think it would be a kind of a neat message for the county in regards to EMS. So. Okay, thank you. I see some people walked in. Our hearing will begin at 10:20 to talk about the Venice Township Alley vacation. So we're just conducting county business so we can get to that point. Engineer Zimmerman's in the back. Please sign if you haven't. If he hasn't snagged you, he will. So with that, we'll jump over to you, Barb.
I only
County
have
Administrator.
a few some financial information at this point. I'll let you know that we collected $949,246.63 in sales tax for the month of July. This would actually be approximate receipts for the month of May. It's usually 2 months behind. It is down $100,000 from the prior month and down almost $20,000 from the same time last year.
Yeah, first time that happened.
So, but we are trending towards a 12.1 collection for the year, which is just a little over 50,000 of what Budget Commission certified, provided that it doesn't continue to decline. So, just that bit of information.
So that was for June.
It's July's receipts, but it's
Right.
May's actual sales.
May, okay.
Generally, there might be a little bit of sales from cars and things that come in at different times. So, but that's generally how it goes. I have some revenue and expense numbers for the month of June. We collected $1,758,101.49 in revenue in the month of June, and we expended $2,079,055.78. I didn't have a chance to look and see what the expenditures were that would have made that a larger portion than, because we should be trending towards spending less than what we're taking in. So I can check into that and give a report the next meeting.
Okay, just a comment or two, we'll jump into our hearing. This is the first month over month prior year that we've seen a decrease in sales tax. We've said, for 2 years, at some point, something has to happen. So I don't know if this is a trend or a fluke, but, things are tightening up a little bit. So.
Hopefully gas tax doesn't get soon.
Right.
Yeah, and so I think, see Jimmy in the back, if you could call around a few counties and see if around us, if that.
I think we're still up a little bit.
We're on track.
I get all of that information. I
We're on
look to
track,
see.
but I just want to know.
Yeah, year to date we're up 5.5% over last year, but
No, that's absolutely right.
it's the first time in 11 months since we've seen that drop
that what
off
it is?
compared to the
Yeah.
previous month from the previous year. The only
Maybe
thing is this happened last July as well, and then August was up 10% over the previous year. So August is gonna tell us a little bit, I think. So
Fair enough. Okay, anybody else want to add, say anything? Barb, we'll jump into our hearing.
That's all I have.
Okay, welcome, public that has walked in. If you haven't been to one of our meetings, welcome to the commissioner meeting. We are in a formal commissioner meeting, but we will now start the continuation of our public hearing for the Venice Township Alley vacation. And Commissioner Zimmerman, can you maybe give us
Engineer.
Engineer Zimmerman, give us a
You
date.
just got
he's like, I'm out of here.
Hey Jim, I made it 22 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Can't
So,
hear. That's great.
the hearing was continued last
Thank you.
meeting. Unlike the 2 vacations we dealt with earlier this morning, where we didn't have the legal survey, but we had the resolution from the township trustees requesting the alley vacation. This one we had the survey, but we were missing the resolution from the township trustees to make sure where they stand on this. As it has been in the past, when the township trustees are asking for a vacation of their own property, it has been historically an important part of the decision-making process that they are the ones that want it done. It's theirs, they don't want it anymore. They did submit to us a resolution unanimously asking for the alley to be vacated, and they no longer want or desire any possibility of future improvements to that area.
We've all seen that resolution? You have it?
Yes.
Okay, so at this time, anybody in the public, would you like to speak? State your name, where you live, and limit your comments to 2 minutes, please. But you're welcome to speak. Anyone that would like to, just come up by the door there and you can speak. Does anyone like to say anything? Yes, sir.
I'm Larry Messer. I'm the one that lives in the middle of both these guys for that
Okay.
property out back. I just want to know, how am I going to get back to my shop? I have to have the alleyway to go to get back to my shop. I'm landlocked on each side.
Okay. You talk to the trustees about that? Your
Yes,
township
we've already
trustees?
been to them and everything else.
Okay. Anything else?
No, but I just want to know, how am I going to get back there? I got a pad back there, a garage door and everything.
What was their response?
They said they were going to contact these guys.
Yeah, they said they were gonna be in contact with you guys. I've been to Beamer out of the restaurant across the street, but, there's no resolution here. And the worst part is, every time you watch either neighbor mow, they keep mowing closer and closer to Larry's property. And he said there's, 4.5 feet on the south side and like 5.5 feet on the north side. And both of them have ignored that. They act like they own it.
So what we do here, appreciate you coming in, and this is part of the process, okay? So we have 15 townships in the county. I'm speaking for myself, there's 3 of us here, okay? I'm Tony, I'm speaking for myself. I personally spoke to all 3 trustees. I drove by, viewed the property, okay? I see the situation that you're in. But what we do, there's a story behind any one of these things. It goes back 3-4 years, prior owners, neighbors, whatever. We let that up to the township trustees. The 3 township trustees, for their 6 square miles, they're in charge of their zoning, they're in charge of these kind of disputes, okay? And I don't know how it got to here, but we're here. And so they want to vacate the alley. So it's my position, unless the engineer says we can't do it, it was landlocked at the end, but in your case, you bought the property that was already there, and you must not have had a survey or something. I don't know what the problem is. And I would hope you could get with your neighbors and maybe you guys could come up with a compromise to get back there. Obviously but you guys got to work that out, you know. And so, you know, that's my position.
And if I could
Yes,
just
sir.
clarify one point here too, there is no alley. All right, this is a different situation if this were
It's unimproved, right?
This is just grass. There's no roadway there. Some of the alleys we look at are actual alleys.
I think there's trees on some of them.
So just understand that when we talk about vacating the alley, we are vacating right of way.
So did I say that wrong?
Well, just a point of clarification that
It
alley
becomes an alley
is
when it's
physical.
improved.
Right.
Okay.
That this is
We would be
just right
vacating
away.
the right of way.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Any other comments, commissioners?
Question. So
Yes.
that property gets vacated.
Could you
so
please state your name, please?
Edna Beamer.
Hi, Edna. Edna Beamer?
Yes. And who pays the taxes on that vacated section of ground? Who owns it at that point?
Okay, so engineer can explain that, I believe.
Yeah,
Can you
so,
do that?
and that is dictated by Ohio law, and what happens is that, and this is the reason we require the survey, is that it is split right down the middle. Half of it goes to the property owner on the one side, half of it goes to the property owner on the other side. So at that point, right now, because it is held in the township trust, nobody pays taxes on it. All right, there are no taxes paid on it right now because nobody owns it. The trustees, they don't pay real estate taxes.
Trustee.
But as soon as that, if it were to pass today, if the commissioners say yes, then half of that right away goes to the property on the one side, half of it goes to the property on the other side, and at that point, that legal acreage would be added to your legal acreage, and that would presumably increase your tax bill. I don't know if it, I'm not.
But they would, you would
Not
own
my
it.
realm
They would own
of
it.
things.
You would own
that
that
would-
piece behind your property.
That is correct. And that's the case by Ohio law. So that is split halfway for all vacations.
How wide is the alley?
16 and a half, I believe.
16 and a half?
That's standard. The survey's there, I think. Most alleys
You got
are
you got 8
one rod
feet back
wide.
there.
So an old survey measurement is
back
wide.
there.
Yeah, either way, but
I still
neither
can't get
neighbor on
nothing
either
there.
side lets them go back.
I mean, I got a shop big enough that I can put a truck to work in there.
Well, hopefully, I assume there's a few neighbors here, but hopefully, as things settle down, I know, but
It's not
that's,
since I bought it.
so, any more discussion? Anybody else in the public want to speak? Yes, sir.
I'm Larry Messer, Larry Jacob Messer. My dad's Larry Messer. I lived
Okay.
with my dad when he first bought the property. Thing is, I get why he's upset. He bought the property with a pad back there, so why would the pad be back there if they want to shut the alleyway down or the easement back there? It's going to be hard for him to get back there. The neighbors don't want to get along with him. I know one of the neighbors, I'm not going to say who, he has a blacktop driveway, got white spray paint and spray painted white line on there where he thinks the property line is. It's never been surveyed. They don't want to come to agreement to get it surveyed, so something's got to be done where he's got to get back there because they're not going to come to the agreement.
Did you talk to the trustees?
I have not. I don't live there any longer. I live here in town, but it's been an ongoing problem.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Any discussion up here?
I move we vacate the alley.
Okay, so we have a first,
Second.
second. Okay, we have a first and a second. Any more discussion? I think, I've said it before, but my position is we work with the local township trustees. That's their jurisdiction. And so I support their, I understand your position, but I support their recommendations. So let's have a roll call.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. Okay, thank you. So this concludes the public hearing for Venice Township. Thank you. You guys are free to leave. You can stay. We're going to continue with our meeting. Okay? Anything else?
After that.
Okay, back to county administrator report. Is there anything else?
I think the title.
Yeah, the only thing that I
I'm sorry,
had,
what's that?
the only thing that I had was the discussion on the tile that
Yeah.
was brought up at the last meeting.
Okay, so we're back. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to bring that up? Is that, Commissioner?
Either or. I received an email from Brett Markgraf. We talked about it last meeting about a tile that is completely failing. I'm going to turn it over to Brett. He can explain a little bit better than I can. So that's his expertise.
Hi, Brett. Welcome.
Andrew's with me as well. You remember?
Hi, Andrew. I can't see you, but yes. Hi.
I have some bullet points. Would you like them?
Be great.
Yeah, come on up. It's fine. Andrea, do you want to just set up here so we can see you?
Yep. So, as you know, with ditch maintenance, normally anytime there's work to be done, when it's been put on county maintenance, we do the work. The dollar value for that work gets assessed to the landowners, usually in the following year. Normally, that's what I would consider a reasonable amount of money. You know, maybe buy a city bill, you're familiar with this, might dip a ditch for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, and that money gets assessed to all the landowners who drain into that ditch. This one, in my mind, is a little bit unique because it was installed about 25 years ago, and the bullet point there that I give you, about $48,000 cost.
Can you talk just a little louder? I'm so sorry.
I can't. So it was a $48,000 construction cost 25 years ago. The tiles completely failed. We've been in contact with the manufacturer. They're saying they may or may not do a little bit. I don't think they really want to bear the brunt of it, but it needs replaced. The recent estimate that we got for it is about $170,000 to replace it 25 years later. When I just looked through the ownership and the parcel ownership, there's at least 6 people that are going to be experiencing $20,000+ assessment if we would just walk in and do it. I don't think that's the way that we want to conduct our business. We're going to have a meeting, but before we have the meeting, we want to have all of our ducks in a row. And one of the things that we wanted to know is if this is the type of thing that the commissioners can front the money and put together like a payment schedule like has been done on petition projects. I think you do that sometimes. So it's just something I wanted to know before we got this entire group together to say, look, here's the problem. The tile's failing. We're going to replace it. Obviously, it's going to go to bid, but our initial estimate is $170,000 because it's a 24-inch main, over 3,000 feet long. It's going to have to be removed, disposed. It's going to be quite a construction process, and it's just a little bit unusual being on maintenance that we would have this much of an expense to incur, 25 years later. So,
I have a question. So, out of the estimated 170, what kind of money are you looking for from the commissioners? And how long?
I guess I'm just looking to see if it's even possible.
Throw something, give me a time, is it paid back over 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah, I guess in my mind, I was thinking a 5-year schedule. It seems reasonable. It's just, again, without meeting with the group and stuff, but to have people that might be looking at $20,000, $30,000 assessments, I think that seems, like a little bit of a shock if, to be able to have to take care of in, say, a 6-month span.
Yeah,
I think, Mark, if you want to, this has been done in the past.
Yeah, so historically on petition projects, The commissioners have fronted the money, and it is generally set up that anyone that has an assessment of, I think it's $50 or less, has to pay immediately. But anybody above that could be proration, whatever the word is. Prorated over up to a 5-year period, and so over 10 tax bills, semi-annual tax bills. I do not know if that same section of law applies to maintenance. I don't know why it wouldn't, because it is the maintenance program is your program. So then it's not like you're donating the funds, you're just upfronting the funds. So that's a question. If you want, I'd be happy to work with Brett, and we talk to Ally and get an opinion on that.
Would be great.
I think how long should the tile have lasted? I mean, you said it got 25 years out. I mean,
Well, I think that's all over the place. I mean, you know, some would say, the manufacturer would say it's met its life possibly 25 years. Some would say, you know, to value out a tile, you might say 50 to 75 years, you know, if you're purchasing a farm.
Is this a plastic tile, I assume?
It was plastic, yeah.
That's usually you get a little more longevity, but I mean, you get it in the ground, and yeah, you get 25, 30 years. That's you know, pretty substantial. Better than a clay, but
And this too, I think in '98, is that double wall, especially through that wetland area, right? Is that where it's really bad? N12 tile was not new, but it was still not. There was still a lot of delamination issues with
better
lining and the outer rib in the mid to late '90s. This is the project that I worked on, actually the installation of this project. So I'm familiar with it. I was unaware that it was in the shape it's in.
So I'm personally not, we'll go here, I'm personally open to what you suggest. You look at our administrator to make sure that the prosecutor and the auditor and everybody's signs off on
you
it.
guys are
If
willing
Mark
and
wants to
want to
take
maybe
the
clarify
lead.
it.
Yeah, if Mark wants to take the lead, that
The
works for us.
prosecutor asked us to come up and speak with you guys because
Okay.
in,
So it
correct
looks
me if
like
I'm
this
wrong,
is
in his
possible.
opinion, he thought it was possible, right? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You opposed to it? In
I'd
concept?
just like to see some
Yeah.
figures. How much you asking? What's the
Well, they're
payback?
asking 170
Sure.
roughly, and then with that guy, you probably push for a 5 year or something like
I
that.
think so.
Okay.
And I just wanted to have, you know, a little bit more information, because I don't want to pull this whole group together and then not be able to answer their questions and then have to bring them all back together again on another evening. So this is helpful.
Yeah.
And
I
and
think
just
that's-
as far as promoting that idea, I'm not sure what the size of the watershed is, I forget, but the vast majority of land that drains into this tile is improved by the functioning of its drainage system. So the sooner it can get fixed, the sooner the farmers can get the sooner it can get done, the better, because every season is lost revenue to the farm and lost revenue to our biggest industry. So if that means we have to, I'm talking my opinion now, if that means we as a county, as taxpayers, have to upfront the cost to promote that, then I think we have to do that with all due haste. It's my opinion, not as the engineer, but as.
Yeah, and so we're totally clear that this would be paid back over time, and we would just be finding money. Yeah.
The old adage is, you pay for a tile whether you have it or not.
You got it.
That's exactly, yeah, so.
We can at least, when we have the meeting with the group, we'll at least say the commissioners are, I mean, there's more details to work out, but we can say the commissioners are in favor of working with the group to, you know, to make sure that we can get this accomplished.
Fair statement? Yeah. Fair
Okay.
statement, yeah.
All right, sounds
Thank you.
good, thank you.
Anything? Good? How are things out there?
Okay, good, your key's still working to get in, yeah, right, Andrea?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
You're welcome to go, if you guys like. Yeah, thanks for coming in and Claire.
You're at one.
And Mark, I'm glad you were here today. Thank you. That was.
Commissioner?
Yeah. I love what I do.
I didn't mean to put that curse on you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Maybe someday.
What did Commissioner Kirschner say? Yeah, I have a 4-year sentence or something crazy like that. I miss his jokes. Okay, back to you, Barb. Anything else on your end?
I do not have anything else as far as
Commissioner,
reports.
Your report, so we have old business. Any old business? Anybody? You good? Good?
Good.
Alrighty, jump into new business. Back to you, some sub apps.
I have just a few supplemental appropriations. I have two for the general fund that were originally brought up last meeting. This is for road salaries in the amount of $15,990.14 and road supplies in the amount of $420.54. This is my understanding that it is a reimbursement from a contract that the Sheriff's Office holds with Job and Family Services. They are asking for the money that Job and Family Services has paid to them to reimburse for a deputy to be at JFS. I believe that this money was included in their budget, their 2023 budget, but that is my understanding. So I will leave that to you guys' discussion.
I would like to comment on that since you and I have talked. Okay. So,
Don't really want to get into it right now, so Sheriff, if you're online, this is my proposal. Hopefully you guys are good. I talked to Barb about this. I'd like to pull these two out. We pulled them out last week, okay? Barb and I are trying to, we talked, you're going to try to set up a meeting next week, maybe Tuesday, to go out, us two, Sheriff and Lex, and we're going to go over this, okay? We've met before. I think we're making great progress out there, but there's still some misunderstanding. I understand where the sheriff's coming from, but in this discussion some of this is current and some of this is for next year's budget, so we just need to make sure we're, and I think it's a positive if we go back out. So if that's okay with you guys, we will go out and have that discussion.
Motion to table.
Yeah, I think we just pull them out. Do we need a motion to do that, or can you pull them out? We do that at the end.
We can do it at the end, I
Okay,
think.
that's a good point.
We'll just pull them out at the end.
And then, Sheriff, if you're listening, we will come out next week. Make sure we.
Yep, I will
just
set that up.
absolutely gotta
I'll get that set up as soon as the meeting's over.
Tuesday's good.
Okay.
Commissioner Frank will be at the fair, and you'll be out at the fair with me.
Excuse me.
Yeah, good. You'll be wrestling the pigs. That's good. Okay.
Okay, so the next up app I have is for the Sheriff Commissary Fund for their supplies in the amount of $6,500.80. This is for some bikes that they are going to use for the inmates for exercise. Then I have the Sewer District Fund, the Bascom transfer out line in the amount of $2,907. And then also from the Sewer District Fund for the New Riggle transfer out line in the amount of $3,160. This is for the remainder of the funds needed for the 23 quarterly transfer for the USDA loan. They put money into the fund, then they transfer it out when they make the payment to the USDA. And then the last one I have is Mental Health and Recovery Services Grant Fund in the amount of $100,000. This is to pay Oriana House for services that they provide under this grant. That's all I have for supplemental appropriations.
Okay, I'll make a motion to remove the first two in account 010 as we discussed, and that we approve the remaining sub-apps as read.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, we have a first and a second. Roll call.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Moving on to resolutions. Resolution approving the agreement between the Seneca County Engineer and the American Federation of State Council and Municipal Employees, Ohio Council number 8, local number 3540 of the AFL-CIO.
Move for passage of the resolution.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Nice work. Engineer? engineer. Is that what it is? Okay. We have a first and a second. Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Chef,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
The next resolution I have authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to sign a satisfaction of mortgage for Annette Hale for the satisfaction of her loan with the Seneca County Commissioners for work done through the Community Housing Improvement Program, or CHIP, fiscal year 2014.
Okay. So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? It's a good feeling to get a mortgage paid off. Give these people credit 10 years ago. It's good work. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Chef,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
And the last resolution that I have is authorizing the Seneca County Treasurer to cease payment for interest earned on Star Ohio investment account for park and sewer districts effective July 1st, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll second.
And Treasurer Harrison was in and explained that to us.
Yeah, what
And
my
you explained it.
understanding is that they are receiving a duplicate interest payment from the Star Ohio account and then also from the main checking account. So the main checking account was required by the state auditors. So he feels as though it's a duplication. So he's asking for that.
Let's take it out of one.
Yes.
This is the one he's recommending.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we have a first and a second. Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Chef,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. Nice job. Anyone in the audience like to speak? We have public comment. Lee?
Yes.
You were kind of cut off last time.
Oh, that's okay.
We weren't live, so welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm Lee Wilkinson. I'm running for mayor of City of Tiffin. And I just want to remind everyone that the special election for August the 8th is going on right now. Early voting. You can go to the Board of Elections and vote now. If you wait until August the 8th and vote at your polling location, check your polling location because it could be different. If you're going to do that, then you should have gotten a mailing from the Board of Elections telling you where your polling location will be for that. There are several issues got to be on the November ballot, so get to know your candidates, read the issues, check the Seneca County Board of Elections. They have a great site there where you can just see the sample ballot and see what it's going to look like before you even go in. So be an informed voter. And if you're not registered, get registered. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Jimmy does.
Can I add a couple things? Thank you so
Cindy,
much,
you're
Lee.
next.
That's awesome. I just want to add really quickly, check the date on your absentee ballot application. If you're trying to get that mailed to you, we put a press release out yesterday. There's been some confusion on that. There's a new form from 2023. Make sure you're using the correct one. Don't want to have a delay in getting your absentee ballot mailed to you. But if you do have the wrong one, you send it in. Board of Elections will call or mail you back, and they will give you the correct application. The other thing is, there are a couple press releases if you go to senecacounty.ohio.gov just about the August 8th election and about the consolidation of some of the polling locations that we talked about. So not only are you going to get a mailer, you can actually go look and see the consolidated polling locations on our website. Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Jimmy. It's amazing how much work all year long the Board of Elections does to
yeah,
get it right,
yeah.
to get every little,
Yeah.
and it's still sometimes stuff happens. They put a lot in.
Do a great job down there.
Thank you. So Cindy, you'd like to speak?
Yeah, I'd
Please.
just like to give you an update on
Yeah.
OSU Extension.
Okay.
For those who don't know me, I'm Cindy Taylor. I'm with OSU Extension here in Seneca County. Giving it an update on the happenings in our office. First of all, I'll start with SNAP-Ed. I am SNAP-Ed, and I work offer nutrition education for those with SNAP benefits. And recently, Jessica and I have been doing some Cooking Matters classes here in Tiffin, and we're hoping to open some Cooking Matters classes up in Fostoria, working with the food pantry over in Fostoria. So we're excited about those classes. Jessica's also been working with the Migrant Education Center and doing programming with them this summer. Our Ag and Natural Resources, Presley, has scheduled for the Tiffin Farmers Market on July 29th some informative speakers. And she's also looking for volunteers for the Master Gardener program. So if you're interested in becoming a Master Gardener volunteer, contact Presley at verma.20@osu.edu. Erin in our office, really busy working on fair stuff. She's been helping the judging, and she's working on everything fair. So all things fair. And Katie, our 4-H educator, she has recently done 4-H camp. She did the Clover Bud Day camp and the fair coming up. July 24th to the 30th, we encourage everyone attending the fair to visit our 4-H building and see all the hard work that our 4-H students have been working on all summer. So we hope everyone can come out and support the junior and the senior fair.
So
thank
first
you.
of all, make sure, we appreciate OSU Extension coming and giving us an update. We see different, you must take turns or draw straws or something.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
Yeah,
We had divided that up by
And
month.
thanks for coming in and
Oh,
letting
you're welcome.
everybody know everything going on out there. I appreciate that.
Thanks for letting us
Yeah.
know.
Thank you.
So I do have a
Yeah.
addition to that. So Saturday night of the fair, there's still availability that they are looking for a celebrity showman for 7 o'clock Saturday
I
night.
signed up for the tent, remember, so I can't do it.
Yeah, well, we can readjust that, so yeah, so I will be out there, so you have your choice of species, so as I've
About
always.
species.
Yeah, so I'll be,
I know where this is going.
yeah, so.
Halo,
so
what do
this
you
will
think
be-
of this?
There's one that's, so as I've always worked with my 4-H kids, is you try to push them out of their element. So as a leader, you push yourself out of element. So the 3 species that I chose was, I'm going to show a dairy beef feeder, that, show a pig. The other one is the dogs. So this will be
Whoa.
interesting on that's what I've never done my whole life. So it'll be quite a new endeavor to do that. So, but I know that
It's either gonna
Emily-
raise its leg on you
Right.
or it's gonna bite your leg or something.
Exactly right, yeah.
As you're
So
walking
that's,
out, so just be ready. Yeah.
No, looking forward to that. But yeah, Emily reached out. I think she reached out to other office holders. Anybody wanted to come and participate in that. So I think there's still time to sign up. You guys.
I think what would be good.
Where does that take-
Engineer Zimmerman, I forgot to give her your number.
Where does that
so-
take place?
Oh, thanks, I appreciate
So that'll
that.
be in the show arena, the big livestock arena there. So where the main shows are.
We should, we can get together, maybe just look at our next week calendar, triple check. I know you're out there all the time. I'm in and out, be in and out, so that'd be good. Okay.
Very good. I'll take one for the team.
Anything else? Anybody else? Jimmy?
Public comment, please.
Yep, if you're joining us via Zoom, you'd like to come forward
You're
now, I will unmute the lines and you can do that.
That's kind of fun. It's pretty cool.
And Mike Ditto is on here, but he just said if you need him, so we're not going to force him to talk, but
Nothing
Right
pressing.
now, we'll get, yep.
Thanks, Mike, for being on. Anything else? So, going once. So back to Barb before we adjourn. There will not be a meeting next week. It's Fair Week. I will be out there Monday morning, 8 o'clock. I'm sure you'll be out there, Lee, for the opening of Sac County Fair. And we will be back here
August 3rd.
Thursday, August 3rd. Anything else from the public? Thanks for coming today, Engineer Zimmerman. And appreciate it. Meeting adjourned.